Welcome to final episode of Secret of Mana. So, time to go to the final teleporter and see what's going on in here. Well, there's Thanatos and dialogue. Oh, yeah. Oh yeah, there was a case of this, of a chosen one, but it wasn't any of our main characters. It was not even secondary, it was very tertiary character. Oh, yeah, well, Thanatos had a plan to take over the world. Yeah, of course, he's evil. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That was how Thanatos was killed. Just in a cutscene, just smacked to death with an axe. Oh, looks like... Yeah, I guess the body transfer worked. So, apparently Dialogue made a resisted and a completely new boss fight music again for a new final boss. And it might be time to start blasting it with magic. Yep, Yep, Thanatos can go underground to hide. He can do quite a lot of nasty things. He shows up his ugly head. And he's quite, you could say, annoying to kill. And he is weak to Lumina. Yep, he's quite very weak to Lumina. And while you're at it, let's blast out there. Just make use of the other powerful magics as well that you have in your disposal, if any. And it's kind of fitting that there's an undead evil sorcerer thing. Thanatos would be weak to Lumina and light magics. Some recovery from that. Let's try Dark Force. Even Darkness should do some damage. Actually, this one did not. That would be kind of appropriate, but Thanatos is very much a boss fight that if you are trying to fight fair, you're gonna suffering away, gonna bad damage most to it. Because he's very rarely even visible to be attacked with a direct means. So it is just recommended to just blast out massive spam of magic at it. Although thematically the evil sorcerer Thanatos trying to conquer the world using the super weapon and getting himself a new body to boss around with is kind of evil overlord. Too bad he doesn't actually have that much time in the story fitting that what or who he is beyond. Well, yeah, I'm an evil overlord wearing living over bodies, wearing skull masks and all that. Those very cliched traits of evil overlords. That sort of thing. Quite painful. I went out of it, not consciousness. Painful. Eat a piece of chocolate. Because final battle's going on, no need to be spared. Need to be considerate about can anything be spared. Getting to hit him is kind of present. Well, I'm guessing that he ain't far from being out of existence, and he does look quite intimidating for this kind of storyline final boss. Evil hand moves. Still alive. Shudder as much as you want, but it ain't gonna help you much. And lots of ashes fall. Let's blast out the healing magic. Well, I know it's really interesting to watch him just spam the magics at Thanatos until he kills over. But that's the way you win this battle. If you want to fight him fair, it's gonna take eternity. And eternity is a very long time, which is to say you might also most likely lose that battle of attrition. So no need to fight fair against him. And it's funnily enough one of the 3 different final bosses of Secret of Mana 2 or Trials of Mana or Satan Density 3 would be called Dark Lich. Where are you? So there you are, moving your hat, doing a very action game style attack with that. Recommended don't get close to those hands. With that, Thanatos gets burned out of existence. Yep, he ain't that complex boss, but he can take a damage, and if you want to fight him in any kind of effective manner, you really need to make use of spam the magics against him or it. And plot line event. The mana magic is open. And island is gone. Most likely her fiance, and he is dead. Bad thing happening. while I'm at it, just gonna make Ash eat one of the fairy walnuts. Because there's nothing here. Yeah, Clammy is a baby. But it's a natural creature. Basically, mana beast would be something that it would be break the cycle of fortress and mana trees. A grand final boss in very small area. Very small battle area at the top of the fortress. There it is. All the fancy Mode 7 special effects made used to make it apparent that yes, it's a big fight, high, and it's coming towards you. Oh, yep, it's a dragon. It breathes fire at you. It will also tackle. And once it's gonna come up, once it starts to raise up, it will make itself vulnerable. The riot and is then must be cast to wake up Mana Sword's power. Mana Sword is awake. And once Mana Beast shows up to here to show up its gloat, its power, it must be swiped to death with that Mana Sword. Just let it get into full power and yeah, it can throw up Lucent Beam. And if Mana Sword is not awakened, you ain't doing any damage to it. Kind of bad idea. And occasionally it also dashes past. So yeah, it ain't completely helpless. But this battle was much more designed to be a case of spectacle instead of truly interesting boss fight, because of the boss is having such a few number of different maneuvers it can do. Ouch. But that can be quite easily endured. And while I'm at it, let's just blast out barrier as well. Oh, yeah. And once again it is appearing. And luckily Riot's mana magic they made it take just one magic point, so it is not much of a and of course only the Mana Sword can damage it. Ah, that was a big hit. Another big hit. Third big hit. Oh, no, well, that wasn't. I know I idea how much of damage it has. I do say that it's very impressive, this kind of sense of grandiosity that they managed to, and that they got into this battle. And you are really fighting something primordial and powerful and ferocious. It's pure. There's purity in Mana Beast, especially because it has such a bright color scheme made to it. It doesn't lack any. It's colorful. And I do like this kind of little colorful appearance of it. To make it appear more, and of course the fact that there's no skulls or trinkets or anything like that. It's just pure creature. And it has its own motive, its own personality. Boss mechanically, this is very, you could say, dull boss fight with very repeating pattern. Oh yeah, Lucius Barrier just got off that fire attack. And the tackle. Well, tackle wasn't shrugged off, but and I do like the gimmick of having the others give the support magic to this battle. And the Mana Beast has been defeated. Instead of Fortress, it was the Beast which got destroyed. Or maybe it is the one of the same. Well, that concludes Secret of Mana. Evil plot to dominate the world has been thwarted, and now it's the very cheesy ending. So, what would I say about Secret of Mana? It certainly does show its age in as much as writing and game design goes. But for the time, this game had tremendously good design. This is also quite common this kind of thing, that some sort of force maintaining one of the important characters, they die. But then again, he was basically a supporting character, while Link and Ash are the hero and heroine. Who's a heroine? Oh. Oh. And now the ending credits just roll in, and they are kind of simplistic because, well, not that simplistic because there's this little action. But the game itself happens to be quite simple, and of course has a massive dash of flight, a little bit of storytelling in Empire, Chrissy and the spy, not anything, no dialogue lines or anything. It would be interesting that the visually quite similar Chrono Trigger from the same guys would have the end sequence would have very little bit amount of playable movement. So, but they didn't yet go it here. Yeah, but hey, there's Gemma of Tasnica, and yeah, he also got told that what's happened. But I would wonder. But it would be later in Trials of Mana. There would be that the case that yes, the mana tree would get destroyed in that as well. But there would be a seed for it, which would mean that yes, it will regrow, re-impair, but it will take long time. It is such a big, important word. There would be the sand ship, and of course Santa Claus. Go. This is very simplistic form of, you could say, where are they now, or what happened to them kind of ending, where the hero is now just saying hello to everybody else that they help or cause annoyance with. Even with that, where later could be even with the silly group of Scorpion Army, aka Team Rocket of this game. Oh, and the upper land is and of course the witch with the jumping, haunting chairs. And of course the Cannon Travel Brothers. Oh, so there was 4 of them. They would later get funny names. In this one they were just Cannon Travels. And what's the blacksmith? I guess he's returning home after learning quite a lot about how to make big weapons. Not every mana game would have that kind of mechanic of buying upgrading weapons into boss fights. And of course, there's sneaky cat merchant Neko. Well, I guess he got a good deal. I wonder where did he get all his fancy super armor that he was selling? It's no hard, where? But he did get them and he did sell them with big price. And of course, Pandora. Kind of simple. It's kind of interesting that the game is basically this spiral of the game traveling from the end towards the end areas, going towards the beginning all the time. Oh yeah, and Ash apparently decided to stay in Pandora, and there's the sage Luca, who gave the basic main quest that you have to power up the mana sword. And photos. And he came up the back doorway. Oh. If there would have been some sort of karma meter, it might have been something that he would have been banished from his village again. But I guess saving the world means something that, yeah, I guess you're kind of good guy, and your mistake is now to be, yep, come back. Well, you're welcome. Mana sword is no longer needed. It can be returned. Yeah. It was not about Link, it was the sword, which is the important part. But I wonder, was that enough to bring him back. Perhaps eventually. Oh, it's such a nice little side. But with this beautiful image and simple animation frames ends Secret of Mana. It was quite a journey. I like doing it again. It had a couple of annoying parts, but generally this game holds up there, and strangely enough the remake, despite having slight additions, is not worth so much playing if you have played this. It doesn't give anything new, it doesn't improve the story, it adds no it adds no side stories or anything like that. So it's kind of pointless to play through that if you have played through this, because, well, if you remake, why don't you improve it? And that one didn't improve it practically at all. Not to mention the graphic style doesn't really work in 3D. It just makes me sick. Obnoxious. But hey, the end.